welcome back to Shit They Don't Tell You. I'm Nikki Limo.
What's up? It's the Iceman.
And we have taken questions from you.
Wait, who?
You.
Who's you?
The viewer, listener, podcast listener.
But especially the people at patreon.com/sticky.
Yes.
That's where you can cut the line. Your first question
would get answered first in the QU.
Correct.
And also you would have access to videos ahead of time.
Correct.
And you would have access to Steve's Crypto Corner.
Every Tuesday night, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
And the live stream, Sticky Stream, once a month, and free roll poker tournaments.
By the way, not to brag too hard, but those of you who are skeptical about crypto, just wait. It is currently the month of August.
August, yes.
Just wait till 6 months from now. You'll be my bitch. All right.
Okay. Anyway, that's besides the point. We are taking questions from you. You don't have to be part of the Patreon to submit questions. You just get ahead of the line. If you would like to submit a question, you can submit to podcast@nikki.limo. That's podcast@nikki.limo. And you can ask us anything about any topic. I can't guarantee that we will read it on the show,
program,
but it's very likely because you're not competing against a ton of people, and as long as you're like not inappropriate,
correct,
we'll answer questions about pretty much anything. That being said, we are not experts at anything. This is all for entertainment purposes only, and so don't sue us. Thank you.
Thanks.
This first question is titled, oh, by the way, I don't read these ahead of time, so I don't know what it's going to be about.
What happens.
This first one is titled "Sad Potato in Need of Help."
Well, we're going to call you Sweet Potato.
Aw, it's a sad potato.
But they're sweet.
How do you know?
I sure
What
hope.
if they're not?
Let's give something good.
Hey, Nikki and Steve. First things first, compliments. I've been listening to you guys for years now, and I want to thank you for everything y'all do. If it wasn't for this podcast and a super dope group of friends I have, I would never have gotten out of a very toxic relationship I was in 4 years ago.
Ooh,
oh my
sounds
God.
like you hit the breakup button. Courtesy of Mark, who is perhaps a person or perhaps an idea.
Nikki, I love your energy and all the beautiful vibes you put into this world. Steve, you are an amazing guy and have really gotten my gears going to wanting to be financially free. You both give me hope that true love exists, and I will find it someday if I get it together, LMAO. Man, that was really sweet. You are a sweet potato.
Sweet Potato, we are going to do it again.
Yeah.
People don't even know. It's happening already.
What are we doing again?
What we do every time.
We don't do that every time.
Anal.
Okay. I thought
I hope with my
it was
wife.
going to be.
I hope. But
we definitely don't do that every time.
So soon.
I gave Steve a window of being able to do it, and he failed.
A chili pool ass.
That's so out of context.
It's not for me.
All right.
I was there.
Now to my question. I, 26 female, started working for my dad in construction about 2 years ago, and it has honestly been pretty cool. I never thought I would actually like it as much as I do. I was originally supposed to be a receptionist, but I somehow ended up working some of the work, which I find very interesting. However, I'm always so pooped by the end of the day that all I want to do when I get home is take a shower, eat, and turn into a potato, which is fine because it's heavy work, but now I find myself in robot mode where all I do is work, come home, and maybe try to go to the gym so I can feel a bit better about myself. I've come to a realization while talking to a friend that I have no passions in life. I don't do much, and I've started to live for the weekends. I used to be a very extroverted person before I dated my ex that I mentioned earlier. He was very manipulative, and I ended up becoming a person who lived to please him. After we broke up, I never really tried finding myself again until recently, now that I'm at a place where my world is more calm. What should I do to find my passions? How do I become the social butterfly I used to be back in my late teens/early 20s? Someone once asked me to introduce myself without saying the generic answers like age, occupation, etc., and I couldn't think of a single answer besides I like being a potato. The fact that I recently turned 26 and I feel like I don't know myself is killing me because I feel like I should know what I'm all about right now. This is all I will ask for now because I have more questions but don't want to make this too long. Any advice would be appreciated. From a sad potato.
Okay, sad potato. I just got this to say, and I really do mean it. It's look, we've been doing advice stuff for like years, right?
Yeah.
Shit they don't tell you. Credit to us, but credit to you guys for being here still. My biggest thing on what you're going through right now is that everybody's working for the weekend, right? Everybody just wants a new romance, right?
Oh,
everybody's
I see.
Going off the deep end, and everybody's needs a second chance. You know?
That's what you were doing, pulling up song
you
lyrics.
Want a piece of you want a piece of my heart. You know, you better start from the start. You want to be in the show. Come on, baby, let's go. And that's what people say. And that's what the advice group in relationships on Reddit and psychologists say.
I guess so. I guess this answer's up to me. So, look, don't feel like 26 is old by any means. I've said this forever. This was actually originally said to me by John Favre at the YouTube space.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
Which I agreed with. And at the time I was 26, but he said that your life starts over at 26. Like that's literally when you figure out, like you go through the, like, okay, well, this is actually who I'm going to be in my adult life. You think you know beforehand, but then you get broken by the world and it really tests you into seeing who you truly are. And that's why everything falls apart at 25. And then you have to glue it all back together again at 26 in a much better way, hopefully. I think that you are in a situation where your body has been through a lot of stress in many different ways. Emotionally, you just came out of a toxic relationship where it sounds like you were dating a narcissist and you're a codependent. So there's that codependent narcissist bond, and you are in the process of breaking that. That's an enormous amount of mental and emotional stress that your body is having to unlearn what it had been trained to do for the past 4 years or whatever, and relearn a more healthy way of living and being, which is not living to please another person. Sure. So you're changing a lot of things right now. That's a lot of work internally, and it's exhausting.
Would you say they're going off the deep end?
No. Please don't talk to me during this time.
Okay.
So the other thing is that your job is physically exhausting. Like, so not only are you physically exhausted, like from literally constructing things all day, lifting heavy things, pounding, doing physical labor all day long, but also your body is healing from emotional stress and mental stress. Of course you want to be a potato when you come home. Yeah. I don't blame you at all. I actually think that that's pretty natural. And if you were to try to force anything, you'd actually be putting your body into more stress because your body's basically telling you, bitch, I need to rest. Like that is what your body is saying. And that is how we heal. We heal during sleep. We heal by resting. We literally regenerate cells in our sleep. And that is the only time where all of our systems can shut down enough to heal properly. So I'm actually happy that you're at a state of rest when you come home. And I think it's natural societally to want to panic because you don't know what your passions are. And oh my God, you should know. And blah, blah, blah. I'm 26. But you're going through a lot right now. You're having what they say in the tarot is a tower moment.
Well,
it's when the tower falls down. It's like on the tarot cards getting hit by lightning. People are jumping out of the castle.
Oh my God.
Your tower is crumbling, but it has to. It has to crumble so that you can build back in a better way. Your castle needs to be built better.
We should have built it lower.
Should have built it lower.
I think.
Maybe.
Because then
and it's good. It's healthy. It's like a rejuvenation. It's a second start. It's a phoenix rising from the ashes. But you actually have to burn to the ashes. You don't always have to burn to the ashes.
Have to?
You don't always have to.
But you got to jump out a window too. It's like 7 stories down.
It sounds like at this point
they built too high.
So after a few cycles of this, you're like, oh, I know what this is.
Yeah,
and you could put out the fires earlier.
That's true.
The first time around, I think you kind of do have to just
you jump out of some towers.
Yeah. So the way that you're going to find your passion, though, is once you're healed, well-rested, you find some balance in your life, you become stronger. This is all making you stronger. Even you go to the gym, all this stuff, making you stronger. There'll be something that you can't stop thinking about. Like you wake up thinking about it, you go to bed thinking about it. Maybe part of you's like, yeah, that's nice, but I can't make money from it, so I'm not going to think about it anymore. But you really just can't stop thinking about it. I don't know what it is for you, but
plan it out.
You'll be able to explore it.
Yeah.
You'll be able to like play with it in your off time. You know, you'll be able to, I would say, just like let your imagination and thoughts be open. Don't shut down an idea because you don't think it's feasible to be into that or whatever. Just like be open I think.
Would you say you better start from the start?
Can you stop?
I'm
Can you
just
start?
asking.
Can you stop from the start?
I think it's a good question.
If you stopped from the start, I think I'd be in a way better mood.
Okay. It doesn't say that.
No, it won't say that in there.
Okay. I'm looking.
Don't you have anything to contribute about finding passions?
Of course, but I think you're nailing it, honestly. It's just so easy. What you're doing is like perfect.
But what does Steve say?
I mean, look, it's just about what drives you. It's like what you can't stop thinking about, like you said. Like it's like you wake up, you think about it, duh, right? But like it seems like duh to people who know what that is.
Yeah.
But it's not duh until you know what it is, until it's informing your choices and your emotions and your lifestyle decisions. And
Would you say that makes you go off the deep end?
I'm not familiar with that, but I better start from the start. I better stop from the start.
Better stop from the start.
Yeah, I better start from the start.
Yeah.
Hey, come on, baby, let's go.
I don't know. I think you got a lot of time to
You're
figure
fine.
it out.
Holy shit, chill the fuck out.
Yeah, and I know it can be disorienting starting over, but it's going to happen throughout your life. I'm kind of like been going through this transition period for a while now in this phase of my life, and there's something crazy at every turn. And as much as I try to find stability, I'm like, okay, well, I guess this is where we're going right now in this point. And you kind of just got to embrace the twists and turns. Like once you find the calling, you like hear this little voice of intuition being like, ooh, check this out, check this out, check this out. You go over there and you check it out. Strap up, get ready, because that's when the ride begins. So
strap up.
Strap up.
Which means
strap on.
Which means get armed. Have a weapon in your home.
It's literally not what it means at all. But maybe,
well, to gun people,
whittling knives is
that's fair.
Yeah, there's a
good point.
We're in an era where you can do anything that you're passionate about. Like you can make it a thing.
There you go.
So I wish you
Dream
the
big.
best of luck on that.
Love it.
Do you have anything else to add?
No, that was perfect.
All right. Well, I hope that helps you, sad potato. You're a very sweet potato, and please keep us updated.
Seriously.
Yeah, when you start to, find, you can start with books. Start with books. You get inspiration from the strangest places.
Yes.
Don't try to. I would say the less you try to find it, the faster you'll find it.
Hey, the more you look, the more you're there, right? That's what Dr. Seuss said.
No.
That's what Dr. Seuss said. It's a direct quote.
Say that.
Exact quote.
Just stop trying so hard, and you'll find it better. All right,
the more you look, the more you're there.
Can you start stopping? All right, this next one is titled "Dating Fucking Sucks." All caps.
Yeah.
I am so happy to not be.
Yeah.
I don't even know where I would
Same.
even start if that had to happen for me. Hi, Nikki and Steve. I love you guys so much. One of my absolute favorite couples and podcasts to listen to. You guys are relationship goals, but dating fucking sucks.
Yeah.
Help.
We're sorry.
First of all, thank you for the
Thank you.
compliments.
We're sorry, though.
Yeah, I am sorry. Okay. I'm a 30-year-old woman who has her shit together. Good for you, man. Slap it high. I have my own apartment, a good job, reliable car, a dog and cat. And if you ask me and my mom, I'd say, and my mom, LOL, I'd say I'm a catch. Hell yeah.
One cat?
A dog and a cat.
Not that good a catch. We have 4 cats, so we're
Don't brag.
well,
Stop
I'm
bragging.
just saying, we're a little ahead,
My life is pretty fulfilling and I'm happy. I have a great relationship with my family and a couple of close friends and hobbies that I enjoy. You sound like you're a very well-rounded person.
You're killing it.
When she said she had her shit together, she was not lying.
You want to come to our wedding?
One thing that's missing for me, though, is a romantic relationship. I've never really been in a, quote, long-term or, quote, serious relationship. The longest one lasting almost a full year, and that was nearly 8 years ago. Whoa, 8 years ago? You were 22? Okay, I've had other relationships since, but mostly lasting no longer than 4 to 6 months before they fizzle out. I've tried using dating apps like Hinge and Bumble, but casual dating is really not for me, and I found nothing but a handful of duds on these apps and people just looking to hook up, which is not my MO, mode of operation.
Hey, that's a good translation.
Thank you. I used to say that I wanted to meet someone organically like my other friends have. For example, at work, at the bar, in college, being connected by mutual friends, etc. But unfortunately, none of those scenarios have happened for me. And at this point, I just want to meet anyone worth my time, no matter how we meet. I don't really find myself
in the bathroom, at the porta potty, at the club.
Hey.
On the ground.
It could happen.
Buried underneath 6 foot of fucking desert sand.
I wouldn't judge anyone.
Exactly.
I don't really find myself in situations anymore where I even would meet someone, quote, organically. I'm no longer in school where I work in a female-dominated industry. I like penis, lol. The majority of my friends are now married / having children. And when we hang out, I've noticed I'm the only single one in the group. I also don't really go out to bars or party anymore where I would potentially meet someone. Sometimes I worry that I'm going to end up alone. I've always pictured myself with a husband and kids, the pets, and a home. I can't believe I'm still alone at 30. But the older I get, the more worried I am that it's just me for me, and that's it. I also think this fear is perpetuated by the fact that I have a great aunt who never married, never had kids, and is bitter and mean as fuck, and I really don't want to end up like her.
She's an old maid.
So I guess my question is this. How can I continue to stay positive and not give up? I've given up for the last 3 years and feel shitty about it. Do you have any recommendations on how I can get out there and meet single men who have their shit together and are also on the same wavelength as me, looking for serious, settle down type of relationship? At this point, I feel like my only option is dating apps, and it feels so tedious and discouraging from my previous failed attempts. Also, the world is fucking scary, and I listen to way too many true crime podcasts. Sometimes I psych myself out of meeting up for dates out of fear I'll end up in some serial killer's victim. Oh, and I've always said that I don't think my quote person lives in my state, Colorado. For some reason, I just think he's somewhere in PNW or Cali. LOL, just a hunch. Sincerely, Paris, aka Unlucky in Love.
Okay, Paris, we love you. First
we
of
love
all,
you, Paris.
You should be more positive. Like, you're not like a serial killer's victim. You're perhaps a future viral podcast topic. And that's a good right.
It's a rebrand.
Yeah, it's a rebrand. You should look at it a little differently. Don't
go
just
viral.
Don't just look at it negatively. Like, I'm gonna get killed by this guy, or he's gonna fucking chop me into and make me chili or something.
Yeah.
It's like, no. I am part of the future conversation.
Yeah, it's a creative type of way to go.
Yeah, and people are gonna sell like, healthy meals like during the 30-minute ad break or whatever. It's nice.
By the way, we'd love to sell healthy meals.
Yeah, love it. But you got to support us on patreon.com/sticky. But yeah, no, it's tough, right? Because you've been in the grinder, and so it's tougher for you to be objective about this particular topic. But there is hope, right? It's not like just like, you can blanket statement, like judge this entire fucking field because you've had a couple of bad experiences.
I want to know why she thinks PNW or Cali. What's PNW, by the way?
Pacific Northwest.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. So like Oregon and Washington?
Yeah. Like Seattle and Oregon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want like a hipster type?
I mean, I would assume like a real messenger bag fella.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you never know, right? Like that could be great.
I don't know. Colorado has a lot of like ex-Cali people. Like a lot of our friends moved from LA to Denver.
Hell yeah. Every single one of them.
Couple years.
Look, all of our Cali friends moved.
Yeah.
How about nobody's left in Cali basically?
There's like
except
one
for JK.
person.
That's it.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
No, JK even moved, but they're just they film in Cali.
Fucking Ryaname and fucking Anthony Lee and fucking Nick are killing us.
Okay, we can't assume that people know who those people are.
I'm just saying they're killing us. But it's tough, right? Because you're not wrong, right? You are dealing with a circumstance, but you're judging like a field of people when you really do have to get down in the muck and put your gloves on and like just like go individually one by one and see who's gonna make it, right?
Yeah.
It sucks.
You can't write the whole.
Yeah, it sucks.
Like can't throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Dude, that's like, okay, again, I use relatable terms that I'm familiar with. Crypto. How many times, right, has crypto like betrayed me or like people around me, like bubbles pop and shit? But no, the use cases still matter, and like the idea of crypto matters more than like the individual projects that have blown up. You can't just judge something because you had an ex that sucked. Imagine you just think all the exes that you have or like all the guys you're going to meet are going to suck the same way. Nobody does that. So you just have to treat it
they always say to be the person that you want to attract. Right?
Absolutely.
So like you just keep being that energy for yourself, you know,
Absolutely.
like of what you want to attract. And then don't worry about the details of the other stuff. I had a friend who many of you might know because we were on a podcast together that ended last year. It was an all girls podcast. And one of them thought she was going to be single forever. She was older than you. I think she was 33, 34 at the time, maybe turning 35. Yeah, like 35, right? And so she's like, damn, I'm really going to be single.
Yep.
And she got a really great, she went and got her license to be a public account, a CPA. She got a really great job at a very big company. She's crushing it in work. She's got all of her debt paid off. Has her own apartment in Austin with like 2 bedrooms. Like she's definitely got her shit together just like you, but had no luck on the relationship front and was almost like shutting down and getting bitter about it. Like your aunt who you don't want to be.
Yes.
Right? But even for her, which was so hard to keep positive,
Impossible to keep
I
positive.
would tell her all the time to
We
stay
all
positive.
did.
We all did. And I unfortunately,
We suffered for
she
it.
listened enough to not settle. Because
Yeah,
I
that's
said
true.
the only thing worse than
That's true.
trying to be single forever, like, you know, basically sequestering yourself off, is settling for the wrong person
And
just because you don't want to be lonely.
Credit to her. She gave credit to us. She said,
Yeah.
I'm going to hold out for that. And it worked out.
And she has found a person in like the past year, and they have gotten pretty serious, and she has ever been more in love. And she didn't think
even
it was
say love, bro, before that shit.
Yeah.
Ever.
And she
This bitch
she
was like-
didn't want to put a label on it. She didn't want
Exactly.
to where she had
She's
a
a
long
fucking
list of
freezer.
standards. She had a long list of standards.
Yeah.
And I was like, look, you have a lot of standards, but
Yeah, come on,
I
dude.
do believe there's someone out there for everyone.
Yeah.
And
Even
I
for
do
tax
believe
people, I guess.
I do believe that if you don't settle and you continuously be the person that you want to attract, it will be out there. It will come
Amen.
to you. And
Yeah.
we don't know how. We don't know how. It could be a dating app. You could meet them at a porta potty, like Steve was saying. Like
Thank
you don't know how. You're not in charge of that.
No.
You
We don't even support it. We're not happy that she found her guy. We're not happy.
why?
Huh?
What?
Well, less podcast topics.
Right. She
Yeah.
can't be the bitter single person anymore.
Yeah. Less conflict.
That's why the podcast had to end.
Correct.
Just found love, and then now the
She
podcast has to
ruined
end.
it. She
Sorry.
ruined it. I told you.
Yeah.
Told you she would.
No, but I'm saying that like
That's such a good point.
Yeah. She was probably the most skeptical.
Bitter, yeah,
skeptical of that
yeah,
love could
yeah.
exist.
Quote unquote.
For her, she's like, maybe it just happens for some people and not
yeah,
me.
Yeah. She was very skeptical.
She's very skeptical. And
It's like we took her to a movie and she's like, this is going to suck.
she's like, we took her to a movie and
we never saw the
it says
movie.
based on a true story. And she's like, yeah, right.
Yeah, here we go. Exactly. Yeah, it was like that.
Here's
it really
why
was.
it couldn't have
really
happened.
was.
Yeah, but she found it.
And they both found it. The best part, they broke up in our living room.
Oh yeah, her ex. Yeah,
They both found
Yes.
it. They both came out better. They both were ill-advised by even friends of ours who I love. I don't criticize them. I'm just saying it was bad advice.
Yep.
Sometimes you just tell people bad advice. It's like, hey, if you go to Starbucks and you don't buy anything, you say, can I get the restroom key? And you have diarrhea, they're going to give you the key and you'll make it. And then you cake your jeans. You don't know that they're going to give you the key. You don't know. But sometimes you do.
Yeah.
And we gave them the right advice. I think we kept them from caking their jeans.
Yeah.
By being like, yo.
we saved jeans.
Yeah, we did. Hey, get out now. You guys are still ahead of the game enough where you guys will be fine later. But
Yep.
like, this is a toxic relationship. You guys aren't going to get to the bathroom. You guys are going to be the people who are waiting at the counter and you got to fucking fish out your credit card and all this shit.
Yeah.
And they both made it out. And that's the best thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
They both made it out.
And they found partners that are much more suitable for them.
And they're both happier.
Yeah.
And they were advised the opposite. Hey, chill. Relationships equals suffering. It's almost a direct correlation. Horrible advice.
I don't think that's this person's problem.
Definitely
They haven't
not.
been in a relationship for 8 years.
Definitely not.
But this person needs to believe.
That's possible.
Yeah. And I think a good way of continuously attracting that or bringing more of that into your life is by being that for yourself first.
Exactly.
Like just really
Building
being like
yourself
the
up.
type of person that you would want to have in a partner, just being that for yourself. And it'll come. Like just trust that it'll come somehow. Maybe you end up like on a whim. This person, my friend with the podcast, she was so anti-dating apps. She deleted and reinstalled them a million bazillion times, swore them off. And guess what? She ended up getting on a whim. She was like, well, let me just go on to see. And this is what happens. Yeah. And she didn't think that she was going to find it. It actually happened to us with buying a house where I was like, I'm going to die in this apartment.
That's true.
But let me just see what Redfin has to say. Okay, there is this condo that's in our budget. We'll probably won't get it.
Yep.
But like, let's just go.
You also hated it when you came in here. You're like, the ceilings are too low.
No, I'm talking about our condo.
No, I know. But later, I'm just saying like using the same logic.
Yeah, but
it's funny how that works.
Yeah, I was talking about the condo though. I was very like, we're gonna live in an apartment forever. Yeah. We're never gonna be able to own a house. And then like it just happened, right? I've been looking for like over a year.
Yeah.
And
no, she's very studious.
And I had too high of standards, just like my friend did with the relationship. True. I had a laundry list of standards for the condo that it needed to have. Like it had to have certain elements, and I wasn't willing to settle. And several real estate agents were like, that's not possible. Yep. And I was like, I believe it's possible and I don't want to settle for less. And if it's not possible, then I'm just going to rent a different apartment.
And you know what she told people? She's like, look at my husband. She's like, I that's the bottom of the fucking barrel. She's like, it can't get worse. And then they were like, okay, well, we'll take your word for it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one area I settled on. And I regret it.
And she told all our real estate agents that, and that convinced them to take us on.
I was like, do you see this? I'm not making the same mistake with my condo.
She said, you see this shit? She said, fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I just sat there and I was like twiddling my thumbs and I was drinking on my sippy cup.
Yeah. His thumb up his ass. And I was
not yet. Later.
After the sippy cup.
After the sippy cup. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
So anyway.
She gives you respect.
Just don't stop believing.
Is that from Glee? That's from Glee. Yes. I love that show. Yes. I love that show.
Yeah.
It's my favorite show.
Hold on to that love and feeling?
Feeling.
Love and
like
feeling?
what Lea Michele
Loving
says.
Feeling?
No, that hold on to that feeling like Lea Michele says.
Right. And you'll
from
find
Glee.
it. And you'll find it.
Yep.
And on that note, we're going to go on a quick break. When we come back, we have another question that you've submitted.
Is it a quick break or is it like marriage? Is it forever?
That's not a break. There's never a break there.
We'll be right back.
Hey, thanks for listening to our podcast. We just want to take a break to tell you thanks for listening to our podcast. And if you want to rate it, that would be really awesome for us.
Listen, we're on break. We're not talking to you like podcast hosts right now. We're just talking to you like people.
As a friend.
And we just want to say, please rate the show because it helps out huge amounts.
Like, we're not desperate. We're like kind of desperate.
We're giving shout outs right now to all the people who are giving it ratings. So huge shout out right now to Brian Jorgensen. That was sick of you, dude. Thank you. God bless. Huge shout out right now to Mark W. in Springfield, Connecticut.
Back to our podcast.
Jenny Blyke.
Hey, back to our podcast.
In Tuscany,
and
Florida.
Back to our podcast.
God bless you. Thank you.
Steven.
Thank you for supporting the show.
And we're back, and we have another question for you. And just a reminder, if you would like to submit a question, you can ask us anything. A lot of times it's relationship advice because we are in a relationship, and so we can give you some decade-long advice about a long-term relationship, but you could ask about anything. We're not picky. Podcast at Nikki.Limo, podcast at Nikki.Limo if you would like us to potentially answer your question on the show. And now, on to our next question. This one is called, How to Move On. Please help.
Oh, no.
All caps.
We should have got to this sooner.
I probably got the tone wrong.
We probably should have got to this sooner.
Please help.
Oh, no.
Hello, Nikki and Steve. Heart emoji. You're still my favorite humans, and I need your help once more. Cry emoji. Oh, no. Once more. So, a quick, too long didn't read, but first keep in mind English is not my first language. Okay, got it. In my last email you answered a few months ago, I told you I was in a, quote, situationship with my divorce lawyer who is married with kids, and your advice was, of course, to run fast and very far away.
Hey, that sounds like us.
Which I did.
Hey, that sounds like us.
Kind of.
Uh-oh.
I stopped communication and then told him clearly that I wanted our relationship to stop and that it should never have gotten further than a professional level, and he became even more obsessed. And though I told you it felt very loving every time we met, we never had any talk about feelings before, but now he he is love bombing me, sending me hearts every day, love song links, loving messages, telling me he misses every time I answer one of his trick messages. Once it was a photo of him injured, you know, the kind of message you can't really ignore, which I really try to do, but it's hard. I got really attached, and this is not helping at all. We are not, quote, meeting anymore, but how do I detach? How to move on when I can't avoid him? His house is literally on the same street, and his kids go to school with mine.
Jesus.
Even the gym is right next to his office, frowny face. And with my luck, I see him practically every time I step outside. Also, I don't have the financial means to move, nor the energy, quite frankly, custody/school issues. And even if I block him from social media, I'm still thinking of him. How to get him out of my thoughts, out of my life when he is really not helping. Can you or the viewers please, please, please help me here? Much love, one crazy cat lady heart emoji.
She didn't say how many
Sparkle heart
cats.
emoji. Huh?
She didn't say how many cats she has.
Well,
We're just gonna have to take
A crazy
We're just gonna
amount.
have to take her word
A
for
crazy
it.
amount.
We'll take her word for it. That's fine. Because we have 4 cats, so like we take that pretty seriously.
stop
You use that
flexing,
kind of
stop
language.
flexing on
You
people.
use that kind of language around here. We take it pretty seriously. So just saying that. Okay, not trying to call anybody out. All right.
What would you do,
Oh man, that's tough, dude.
this
In
guy,
the same location.
and he's obsessed?
Yeah, that's a toughie.
That's a really toughie.
It's a big
A
time
big time toughie.
toughie.
It's not just a roughie.
It's a toughie. That's what I've been saying. Yeah, I've been saying that for the last 35 seconds. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a toughie. No, look, I think for me, it comes down to karate or taekwondo.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where like you just like pose like you know how to fight.
Wait, it's her divorce lawyer?
Oh, okay. Maybe don't do that.
It's her divorce. Wait, yeah. I don't remember all the details, but
Okay, maybe don't do like,
he's, okay, a divorce lawyer who's married with kids.
right.
He's married
Okay, so don't
and he's
do
obsessed
Like, yeah, so don't do like
with her.
Daniel's son like fucking
He
crane
never
kick.
talked about feelings.
Yeah,
But
don't do that.
yeah, don't do that. But
My bad.
how can we help our crazy cat lady?
I'd fucking run.
Yeah, but she can't.
I know.
She don't have the money or energy to move.
I know. Shit.
And she sees him every day. That's the hard part.
What if she drinks Logan Paul's Prime and then she runs? She'd probably get farther.
Stop.
I know. I don't know where to go.
Okay. Let's.
I'm actually scared for her. Because
He doesn't sound threatening.
no, not because of that, but because she feels stuck.
She might fall for him.
Yeah, exactly. And he's the solution.
Yeah.
He's the easiest, less friction moment. Like all the friction comes from like not doing it, like getting away from him, all this stuff. The easiest path is getting back with him, and then like that becomes
Yeah.
the most tempting thing, and that I'm afraid for her for that.
I know. I almost want her to tell the wife about it, but then that might make things more threatening.
I know. You don't know if that's going to escalate everything.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oof.
That's
It's a real
so
tough,
hard.
mature question.
Man, I really don't know how to solve this. This is a Rubik's Cube of
It's
a question.
a real toughie.
Because if like his house is on the same street and the kids go to the same school and she goes to the same gym, like, gosh, what kind of small ass town is this?
Best thing you could probably do is get those nose glasses for your kids and disguise your children so that they don't know.
Hire someone to be your boyfriend.
Oh, that's really good.
Yeah.
And put the nose glasses on them
Yeah.
with the
It
ears
could be your brother.
and the mustache.
It could be someone, just like someone that can be like, that walks around with you holding
It's
hands.
really good.
Like, and you at least could tell him you're in a relationship now.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah.
And if your brother gets horny, they're going to get horny.
Stop. I'm trying to actually help.
It's so absurd.
I know.
But you said that.
I know. I'm saying that she should hire someone. She should like have have a friend pretend to be a boyfriend if like that'll get him off her case.
Sure.
I don't know. It might just make it worse.
It might.
He like
He gets offended.
no, I'm not offended, but like she's more forbidden fruit. Like even
Well, exactly.
more so.
But he gets offended by like, oh, really? That guy's better than me? Fuck you.
Yeah, but he has a wife.
Well, he doesn't seem to care.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, it might be like your borderline restraining order levels.
Well, it doesn't sound like he's stalking her.
I I don't know how, but she feels like it's
He's
dangerous.
just always there.
Yeah, he's always around.
She
we
feels
don't know
like
what's going
it's
on.
dangerous that she might fall for him again.
Okay, let me give you guys a true example. Not kidding, no bits. I moved to California. I have a cousin, a second cousin, because my uncle like married every fucking buddy in San Diego.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a second cousin who like had a crush on me when I moved to San Diego from Virginia. And that just turned my life into a living goddamn hell, right? Because the kids knew that this was my cousin, even though it was a second cousin. We're not blood related at all.
Right.
But like they knew that this chick was into my shit because she told her friend that, and then that fucking spread like wildfire.
Wait, so it was like your cousin's cousin?
Yeah, exactly. My second cousin.
Well, a second cousin, you're still blood related because it's like your cousin's kid.
Right. So this is through marriage. So it's like my cousin has a sister through marriage who is my cousin through marriage.
Right. So your cousin's cousin.
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's not your second cousin.
Not my real cousin in any way. Exactly.
Exactly.
Just legal bullshit. But it doesn't matter because like the narrative is like so crazy.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of what like the origin of like my sister joke on JK and stuff. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's funny to me. But like this really happened to me and it's like fucking crazy. But like, yeah, my cousin was like into me and I had just moved from fucking Virginia to San Diego, and then she like told her friend that she's into me, and that got to all this every swing set in Southern California.
Yeah.
Knew that, and then it was over for me, and I was the new kid, so I was like, it was already over. And I'm in elementary school, and I'm like, what the fuck do I even do? Right?
Yeah.
There's nothing to do.
You can't go anywhere.
You just gotta lay low.
Yeah.
You gotta lay low for a while, right? Sometimes that is the advice.
It's not your fault that she has a crush on you.
Exactly, but it was. They were crucifying. I got crucified everywhere I went. I'm a
What
fucking.
would they say?
Oh, like I'm a down fucker, right? I'm a like a family fucker. Like like the.
Because she had a crush on you.
Yeah,
Did they try
the
to go after her?
banjo
Did they go after
twang.
her?
You know, I would assume they did, but I didn't care to know because I didn't want to know her because she was destroying my life. So I just like dismissed her at every turn.
Yeah.
We got cool much later on, because like we had no choice because we're family anyway.
Yeah.
Kinda, but like
Kinda.
it didn't matter. It was like, why did you let this happen to me? For me, and for her, she's probably like, I told someone a secret I shouldn't have said on a swing set, and she's in 5th grade.
Yeah.
So like, who knows, right? It's not fair. But like, yeah, it was like total like fucking reputation destruction.
I had a crush on my cousin's cousin. I didn't think it was that weird.
That's what I'm saying. But the kids don't know it's your cousin's cousin.
Yeah.
They hear it's your cousin.
Yeah, right.
And they just like lay into that. And I don't blame them. Like, that's what I would do.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, man, brutal. Brutal.
So anyway, did that help you? Did you figure out something to
Yeah.
help
I
you?
did. It's just take it less seriously. Right? Like, yes, the familiar relationship shit.
like almost laugh at it?
Yeah, like it's not that serious. It's really not. I actually, and I truly mean this, all that fear I allotted to my second cousin, like for so many years, I'd be in minivans with her. I wouldn't say a word to her. It was unnecessary. I was just so insecure and like weird. But like later on, I got to talk to her and I was like, why did I like deprive myself of this? She was really cool. She was always cool. She didn't mean it.
Well, when you're kids, it's like everything's amplified to the nth degree.
I know, but like I was glad that I didn't take it too seriously forever. And I think that sometimes we can lean on that.
Yeah.
Just because that's like what defends us.
Do you think that she should block him on her phone?
I mean, it just depends on what she's going through. I don't know what she's going
Like
through.
if he lied about being injured,
Yeah.
it's kind of grounds to like block somebody.
Kinda.
I don't know.
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
I would say don't take it seriously, but also
Yeah.
like if he ends up texting her,
That's different.
like, you know,
That's like trying to carry it
I
forward.
think as much as you can disassociate yourself from this person.
Yeah, that's not bad advice. Yeah. I agree with that.
But Yeah, I mean, you can't file a restraining order. He's not like stalking her.
No.
He's just like sending her tricky messages that are like, help, I'm hurt, I've fallen and I can't get up.
Yeah.
You know?
I had that happen to me too. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I know.
Bullshit. You know that one.
Uh-huh.
Bullshit.
But I'm saying that, like, should she block him?
If it's like that, then yeah.
Yeah.
If it's like, hey, I'm using this moment to claim that I am in a medical emergency moment, and then I'm using this to just bring you back into my circle so that you pay attention to me, block her.
Also, she didn't really mention if she called it off, like, to his face, like, said, like, no, or if she just tried to avoid him.
True.
You know, maybe, like, being direct and saying, like, hey, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Type of thing.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think that's good advice.
Yeah. I mean, she might have done that already, but
Hey, what's something where you'd go like, fuck this, get the fuck out?
if my life was being threatened,
Okay.
I don't think it sounds like he's not threatening her
Yeah,
life.
I agree with that.
I mean, so you got to think she also has kids that are going to a school. She'd have to relocate her kids. Like, it's a lot. That's like, it becomes complicated.
Yeah, it's not convenient.
Also, she just went through a divorce. So, you know, the custody stuff, like, that's just a lot to get away just because this guy is into you,
I agree with you.
you know?
I think it's more practical to measure these things that way.
So I would block him and try to avoid contact. And if contact occurs, I'd just be very straightforward. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Yeah.
Please just act like we don't know each other.
Love it.
Yeah.
I agree.
Pretend we're strangers. It's going to hurt you maybe a little bit because if you still have feelings, like, yeah, you like be tempted
course.
by it. But like,
But you
at
need
least,
to hear this.
yeah, at least it being very, very, very clear to this person that he is unwelcome in your life.
It's over.
It will at least help. Like, at least he'll know what he's doing, and you can bring up that he's crossing the line when he's doing it
Exactly.
because you've already had the conversation. So I hope that helps.
Yeah.
That was a very tough situation.
So tough.
I really struggled with finding an answer for you.
It's not an easy one.
No,
But
but
we're rooting for you.
I think
and
the healthiest choice is to cut him off as much as possible and pretend he's a stranger.
and we're rooting for you. Honestly, let us know how it goes.
Yeah. Keep us updated.
Yeah, please.
Because I hope he's not threatening your safety.
Yeah,
It doesn't sound
yeah.
like he is, but
It
you know,
doesn't- but you
that would
never know.
add a different element
Yeah,
if he
for
was.
real. Always let us know.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys so much.
And on that note, that is all the advice that we have today. But again, if you would like to submit a question, you can through our Patreon, but you can also through podcast at Nikki.limo. That's podcast at nikki.limo. And we shall do our best
That's right.
to give you some solid advice.
Obviously, our Patreon people go to the front of the line, but if you just submit to podcast at nikki.limo, we'll get to you.
Yep.
Eventually. Mm-hmm. Hey, we just hit someone here from 5 months ago.
And if you subscribe, you know, tell your friends about it.
Sure helps a lot.
Definitely helps us out.
No, but seriously, we appreciate you guys so much. Seriously, you
And
guys are the best.
and it keeps Mark happy, you know?
Exactly. And, that's what
all,
matters.
That's
the
what
most.
matters. We'll see you guys on the next one.
Deuces. Bye.